Next principle. Rational people think at the margin. This is probably one of the most confusing principles that we're going to discuss in this class. We say that people, and those are rational people, which not always the case, but let's assume that people are rational. Those rational people will make decisions by evaluating cost and benefits of marginal changes, small, teeny tiny changes to existing plan. For example, you're not really deciding, should I sleep tonight or should I not sleep tonight? Most likely you already made that decision when you started making any kind of decisions. So that's a given. But you can make a marginal decision in the morning. Should I sleep for extra 10 minutes or should I stay in bed or should I get up? Right? So that's representing a marginal change. Tiny change to existing plan. You were supposed to wake up at 8 o'clock. Now you're making a small change. That small change is sleeping for extra 10 minutes. Not extra hour or two, but extra 10 minutes. That's a marginal decision. So when deciding on that, you compare the benefits of this activity with the cost. So the benefits of sleeping for extra 10 minutes is your extra rest, right? So we're talking about still change. When you wake up, you're probably somewhat rested, more rested than you were when you went to bed, right? But now we're looking at the extra rest that you will receive in this next 10 minutes. And you compare it with the cost. Well, the cost could be different for different people. For somebody, it's a possibility of being late. For other people, maybe it's skipped breakfast or maybe skipped shower. Some of those things, depending on who we're talking about, will be the cost. So we evaluate these decisions. We compare the benefits with the cost. And if benefits are greater, we're going to sleep for extra 10 minutes. If the costs are higher, we're probably going to get up. Let me get back to this decision one more time. How are we making these decisions? Where are we really like taking a piece of paper and pencil and start writing down all the benefits and all the costs? No, not really. These decisions are made in your head, but if we were to translate whatever's going on in your head into economic terms, that's exactly what we'll see. Think about this. Sometimes you actually go ahead and decide to sleep for 10 extra minutes. When is that going to be the case? Probably when you don't have much to do during that morning, right? So the costs are pretty low. Or when you are extremely tired. So the benefits of sleeping are really high. When are you going to get up? When are you going to decide against sleeping for 10 extra minutes? Maybe if you have an exam, right? So the cost of sleeping for extra 10 minutes is really, really high. So you're not going to sleep. Or when the benefits are really, really low. For example, you wake up at 10 in the morning. So you're already really rested. So sleeping for 10 more minutes is really not going to bring you much. Okay? So compare the benefits and the cost. Another example would be when the manager decides to hire additional worker. Once again, we're not thinking about hiring 50 people at a time. We're making a small change to an existing plan. Should I hire an extra worker? And once again, you will compare those marginal benefits, right? How much that extra worker will add to this company, right? What is his additional benefits? What is the cost, right? Now you have to pay salary to that worker. You have to find some office space for that worker, right? So that's that extra additional cost of that worker. So some of the decisions, marginal decisions, you make almost every morning or definitely making every day, right? So for example, should I buy a small or should I buy a medium coffee? That's a marginal decision. You compare an extra cost, right? That medium coffee is going to cost you 50 cents more with marginal benefit. So that benefit extra coffee will provide you with, right? So am I going to be more alert from that extra coffee that I receive? Which size did you buy? If you bought small, it means that the marginal costs were exceeding marginal benefit. If you bought medium, it means the benefits outweighed cost. You needed that extra coffee more than it actually cost you, so you evaluated the benefit to be equivalent more than 50 cents. Next principle, people respond to incentives. And this one we actually going to discuss in much greater detail a couple of weeks from now. So incentives are those things that influence our decisions and make us either act or not to act in a certain way. Those incentives can be either positive or negative. For example, I can give you extra credit for coming to every class, or I can take some credit away if you miss some classes. So those are the examples of positive and negative incentives.